Well, no, I'm gonna have chat on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I've been open.
Oh, okay. So, thank God they didn't hear anything.
Oh, you have my stream open?
No, I've been up too
Oh,
for
hey,
my
your
VOD.
title's under NHL 21.
What, mine?
Yeah.
You have your game under NHL 21.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta make mine just chatting.
We're gonna be talking about it, so
Yeah, why not, right?
Might as well. Welcome to the stream. I like that. Pretty dope, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
What the fuck is going on with this?
Hey,
Hold on. Oh god.
feel cut out.
We're a professional stream here.
We keep it 100.
100.
Pimp.
We keep it 100. Pimp.
Oh god, why is that doing that? The fuck happened?
Making me look fat. I don't appreciate it.
Oh,
Making me look like I got a bigger head than I already do. It's already big. Talking about my head up here. Get your head out of the fucking clouds.
No. All right. I think we're good.
oh god, that's why. I figured it out. All right, there we
Had a
go.
guy.
There we go.
Nice.
He's got it, chat. Calm the fuck down.
They're all freaking out like, what the
Handing it
fuck is
away.
happening?
Why is this guy's head bigger than it normally is?
It's not right. It's an abomination.
Put him down. Somebody take him out back. Somebody call the horse doctor.
Somebody take him out back.
The horse doctor. Yikes.
Oh, man.
All right, so
yeah.
Arkham, you good?
Wait, what the hell? Why does it say my thing is toasting Tugi? That's not right. Let me restart. Let me restart Twitch real quick. Just make sure. I should be up.
I do not see you up, sir.
Does it still say I'm hosting Tugi? Yeah, why the fuck am I still hosting Tugi?
Politics, do you not have a camera?
I don't.
Are you lying to me?
No.
That's weird.
Something's fishy with you right now, Politics. Is there something you got on your mind?
What do you mean?
Are you lying?
No.
You too good to show your face to the Wolf Master over here?
Dude, I would love to, but I don't have a camera.
I'll tell you what I really want to get. I really want to get a DSLR.
What's that?
A nice ass camera. I don't have
Oh,
over a
oh,
grand
one
to
of
drop
those.
on it though.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I think we should be. Yeah, we should be good now. Yeah.
All right.
Check the Twitters real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
double check.
We should have people talking about us, asking
Check the
questions.
tweets.
Oh, hang on. I need to go to OBS.
Fucking Twitter, man. Twitter's crazy. It's a crazy universe I'm not really well versed in.
How do I fucking switch profiles? God dang it. Brother.
Yeah, because we can still see my.
Probably why. Well. What up, pimp?
What up, pimp?
My wife might have left me, but at least I'm not fat like you.
Right.
Okay, this is on stream, guys. Come on.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
professional.
I apologize, Pancake. Leave that out of the VOD.
We can edit. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
Thank God.
We can edit.
Thank God.
Because this is America. We have the power.
Yeah, right.
I was about to do a Bill Clinton impression, but I'm not going to.
God damn it, Hillary.
I did not have relations with that woman.
Even though she does good knobber.
She was twisting her way around.
Righto.
Are we straight? We good?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
I
Well,
just
this,
want
ladies and gentlemen, is the first episode of the Open Ice Podcast. Welcome to my immediate left, if you're looking on my stream, Mr. Arkham. Arkham's Finest. You can find him on Twitch. Below him, that is Lone Wolf, and you can find him on Twitch as well. I will link both of them in the description after we're done, and you can go check out their shit. Amazing content. Fucking follow them. If you don't, I'll find you. Okay. Below me, my main man, my Saudi Arabian prince. Yes, he lives in Saudi Arabia. His name is Politics, and
Hello.
essentially, we're all here to really do one thing and one thing only: not give a fuck. Okay.
I'm
So
pretty good at doing that.
right?
Yeah.
I think we're.
too.
I think that's why we're all friends, to be honest.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But ultimately, we're going to talk about a lot of things relating to NHL, the NHL community. We're probably going to delve into Twitter at some point, but I think we're going to save that for another day because I thought about that for a minute last night. I was like, you know what, we should talk about the NHL community on Twitter, but I felt like it was wrong in the sense that we should wait just to see how this is received and then go from there. Because before we say anything too harsh about them, a lot of good people on Twitter. I'm not saying everybody there is bad, but, we're going to delve into that. But a lot of it's just going to be about EA and, not only HL, but other shit they're doing that I think we can have comments on. And I can already see Arkham licking his chops at this. So,
Yeah.
You know how bad I want to get into that.
we're going to jump into the first topic, and really we're going to go kind of around and give our basic opinions on the current state of NHL and how you feel about 21. So with that being said, Arkham.
Oh, you're gonna let me start? Why don't you
I'm
start?
No. Listen, this is a team effort, and you seem the most eager to really let's narrow it down to a very broad or a very specific topic though. And
Hey,
this,
up there above me. Start this shit.
I want to ask you about one particular area that is your expertise in the game, which is HUT. So how do you feel that they're handling HUT this year?
Okay. Well, HUT. It is a journey and a half for sure. So far, I kind of came in late on the scene with HUT this year. I kind of didn't really play very much the first couple weeks, obviously because I was a little skeptical about the game this year, as I didn't really play much of last year's game. I barely played. I was probably done with HUT, probably for our new personal record for me was probably like November. I was done with HUT completely. Now we're in December of 21, which it means that I've already lasted longer than I ever did last year. So I can start with that as a positive for sure, is the fact that I'm playing HUT more than I did last year. But totally off topic though, but so far, let's see. So in my opinion, HUT is miles improved from last year, 100% honest. But that does not, however, stem away from the fact that HUT is still very broken and has a lot of problems. There's tons and tons of things that I could go off on for hours about how bad HUT is for so many reasons. But as far as like the content is concerned, I like it so far personally. The thing also that I've noticed is that the market is kind of very similar to how it has been over the last couple of years, where pretty much cards that you should get normally excited about pulling, like for example, say 85 team of the week, pretty good pull, right? You don't see that on an average basis. The cards go for like nothing. There's really no excitement or incentive really to open packs other than to get the master set cards or the event cards. So there's that. And then we go on to gameplay. Gameplay, I feel like, has been probably, in my opinion, the biggest frustration so far. And the fact is that while I have noticed that the servers, I feel like, seem to be a little bit better, because for the most part, I am getting like 20 ping West games, which is great. It's playable for me. The gameplay overall, in my opinion, is just like, it's frustrating, because the big problem, and everybody's going to say it 100%, is the one word: cross crease. That's the big thing with Chell this year. That's the meta. That's how you score goals this year. Everybody's doing it. Everybody and their mother's doing it. If you don't say you're not doing it, you're a fucking liar. But absolutely frustrating, infuriating cross creasing. It's consistent. And the thing is, is the other night is probably my first negative experience that I've had on Hut this year, where I genuinely got frustrated and wanted to either break something or just rage quit, but I didn't, because obviously I've learned over the years it's not worth to get mad at Shell anymore. But yeah, gameplay definitely needs some work. Goalies need to work. Cross creasing either needs a buff or a nerf. I mean, sorry, like I think cross crease honestly needs a nerf. Goalies need a buff. Like it's ridiculous, but yeah.
To that
I think
point,
I'm-
to
I think
that,
I'm good.
not to interrupt, but to that point, I feel like every year it's kind of like that. Like you have certain things that they claim that they're gonna build on and rectify from years past, right? So you take for example poke checking alone, they claimed that they were going to fix 3 years ago, and here we are now where you have the beta, and the beta was fine. Poke checking wasn't overpowered. You would you wouldn't take bullshit trips, and almost every time you hit the right bumper. When now they throw out a couple patches and they buff it, and to that point, I can't go. I used to be able to, when the game first came out anyway, go 5-6 games without taking a trip. Now I'm taking 3 every fucking game.
I'm taking probably more than 3 a game.
Yeah,
On
Taking
average.
probably 3 a period.
yeah,
I'm
easily.
taking, yeah.
So
So the thing is also is that it's goalies for sure, and I don't know if it's just me playing awfully, but for the last couple of days, my goalies on average have been giving up about 7 to 10 goals a game. And most of these games, I'm outplaying my opponent, whether it's time on attack, shots, or both. It doesn't matter. I'm still unable to defend the constant cross creasing. And I don't know if that's me playing defensively terribly or just the game. I don't know.
I don't think it's necessarily you playing bad defensively, because there was a few times yesterday before I started streaming, I had 2 shots. The dude had 2 shots total first 5 minutes. First shot went off my blocker, trickled in. It happens. His second shot, I'm not kidding you, he took a slapper in traffic and somehow went 5-hole on my goalie as he's already down. And then again, like you mentioned earlier, cross creases. Those are killer this year. Like it is so bad. If you go behind the net at all in your defensive zone, you're stuck. You're pretty much a sitting duck. So
It's the
cross
mother
creases
this
are
year.
bad. I'm thinking they need to buff the goalies, kind of nerf cross creases, because obviously everybody's going to do it. It happens every year.
yeah, I was gonna
It's the
say
same
that's
thing.
that's the same old song and dance. Just like the poke checking, they've been saying we're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna have to.
I've been out of the Hut game for a few years now. I used to be strictly Hut, and then I think it was maybe 19. I think it was. I didn't play Hut. I didn't play Hut in 20 for sure.
I
But
never
after 18 was my final straw with Hut. But I
No.
kind of got back into it this year. I haven't spent money on packs like I have previous years, and I've gotten a decent team, which is, for me, that's pretty sad, because I don't grind Hut like I normally do, or like I used to, I should say. And just the fact that I have a pretty potent team and that hangs with people. I have Lemieux and Gretzky. I don't have those guys. I have my best player's 87 Hull. I shouldn't be keeping up with these guys, but the fact that I have them is atrocious, I would say.
Well, that back to Arkham's point on that. That says a lot to I'm in the same boat. I barely touch it. You guys see the streams. I maybe play Hut twice a week.
You're
maybe
more World of Shell now.
I've been World of Chell for years, and
Yep.
like I barely touched Hut this year, and I have a decent team. Like Wolf said, I can hang with people, and I really, if you look at statistically wise, I should
Like,
be able
people-
to.
When I first started, I had nothing but a base team. That's all I had was base cards, and I'm hanging with guys that have their first 3 lines are all master icons, and then the
Like
rest of them are maybe team of the weeks or franchise greats.
Like Wolfie,
That's
probably
crazy to me.
If he played me, Wolfie would probably be able to hang with me, despite the team that I have. It's not great, but it's
And I
not.
shouldn't be able to at all.
Yeah, like you could probably hang with me, honestly. Like, I mean, my team's not that great, but I mean, anyways, though. So people in my chat obviously want to hear other people's opinions. Of course, like Refined Fakes, my chat would love to hear other people's opinions on that. But yeah, I just would like to end my opinion on Hut with positives, obviously. So we gotta change the vibe and go a little positive. So I will say one, Rush, EA, absolutely fantastic mode, and I'm glad that they brought it into Hut. It's really fun. It's God's honest, probably the only mode that I really truly enjoy this year is Rush. Because why? Because it's fast paced. Well, yeah, I would say there's no BS, but there's obviously the game has BS, but it's fast paced and you can get lots and tons of rewards from it. It's good because you can build a team that's playable off of just grinding Rush. You don't have to play champs or rivals to get a good team because you can get packs. You can get gold players to make better players. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's a great mode and it's good for people that don't really play like competitively or have all the time in the world to play, such as myself. So that's
Right.
probably one of the big positives I can say about Hut this year is that Rush is very fun and it's a great mode. I'm glad they brought it. But yeah,
You know the best thing they did with that is the reward system to it.
Yeah, that's pretty
100%
killer.
rewards, yeah.
The
Rewards are
only,
good.
the reason I say that is because like I love Draft Champions when they had it, and you know the reward system to that was ass, man. And like the fact that they brought in Rush and like you said, you get games out of the way quick,
Yeah.
and you
Quick,
get
quick.
rewards really easy from it. And you know, I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that was a mouthful, but yeah, that's about my. I mean, I have so much more I could talk on, but I mean, yeah, that's just my overall standard opinion. So
Politics,
whoever
what do you think?
why don't you take a stab?
Go play Hut. Holy shit.
I mean,
Well,
we're throwing our opinions out. How do you feel about it?
It
I
doesn't
still play it.
necessarily have to be Hut. It can be, you know, you can touch on
Rush.
Arkham's point where, you know, the gameplay from Hut and the gameplay to EASHL is virtually the same if you think about it. It's just you're controlling one player as opposed to the entire team. So, like,
Yep.
we can touch on the gameplay too, you know. We already
Well,
mentioned
not only that,
you know.
like it's the thing about what Arkham said is that it's completely true. Like I think EA did a really good job at Hut this year. I think that they might have needed a lot more work though, because like I feel like it's not good to actually carry on with the whole format. You know, every single year there has to be a new game. I feel like they should just take a break for like 2 to 3 years and then like release a new one because I feel like the game, although it's actually improved, it's still poorly managed and poorly programmed. I feel like the NHL division in EA is underpaid by best, I'd say, and there isn't any good things about it, like in general. Although, like the thing is, I personally am more of a slow learner. Every single year, I have this thing where every time, like prior to the new game actually releasing, I finally get the hang of the game, and then the new one gets out and I just have to learn it all over again. It's just remarkably slow. Like the process is just, it's just overwhelming to say the least. So I personally think that they should actually just take a leap year every now and then.
I
I'd
agree.
say-
I agree with
I'd
that.
say the same. I'd say the
Yeah.
same with Call of Duty.
Like this year, the move that was the go-to last year, the one-handed deeks to score. Those they rarely go in. I've scored 2 this year, and I've attempted maybe 30.
Mm.
And
They got
Just-
buffed. I mean, nerfed. So.
it's literally like there's a force field around the goal. Like it's a perfect cone, pretty much, as I like to call it. As soon as you do it, it's going off the post, around the post, whatever.
Or it's
You're
going to
not-
stay on
you're
the
not
line and
gonna-
not go past.
Yes.
That's some
Like,
invisible walls.
I think like the
Well, Deb, another streamer that's really well known in the community, bring him up, obviously. He had an incident a while ago where it was kind of like a situation where he made a play and the puck like completely stayed on the line and it did not go in. Like it clearly would have gone in real life.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, I think I
but
remember
It just
that.
stopped
Yeah.
like a force field.
Yeah, it's
I
literally
seen that
just
clip.
stopped like right on the line. And he kind of made a point where it's like, yeah, he brings up that whole like invisible wall force field that he thinks is in the game. Like, you know, you can't like I don't know, it's a little weird to me.
Wait,
Yeah,
to that
I'm
point,
sorry, I wanted to carry on with my point, but my mic got cut off. for
Oh,
some
go
reason.
ahead.
I think it was muted by accident. So I was saying that not only that, but I think like the go-to move this year is like the Michigan. I think it was called the Michigan. Correct?
oh hell
can't
no,
do
that's
it.
not the go-to.
I've never
crap.
seen anybody
Yeah.
do it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Nobody does
Yeah.
it.
I've
No.
done it one
Exactly.
time in practice mode.
You
That's-
could
that's
you
all
could
I've
see
done.
people in a game attempt it, but like it never
They try.
it is not ideal.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
anybody even attempt it on me.
I've never seen
Yeah.
anybody do it on me.
But then again, that might be because of like how I play defensively. If they're behind my net, I'm not gonna go behind the net. I'm gonna stick my stick out and try to poke it away from them. There's no way they're getting to my net from behind. They
Right.
can pass it out around the boards or something, but I'm gonna try my best to keep it up front. I'm not letting it in front.
Yeah, no. If you actually score that, you have to clip it. You have to do anything. You have to
You
fucking
have-
celebrate it. because
you have to
that's-
clip it.
Yeah.
If someone
it's
scores that
just
on
great.
me, I don't care if it gets clipped or not. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Kudos to
crazy,
you, man. That's hard to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's-
like to conclude my point, I was about to say that I feel like NHL is just I wouldn't say it's a repeat. I feel like there's a different mechanic. Like mechanics do change every year. It's just that like the process gets slower and slower every year in general.
Yes.
I feel like it's just repeated in a way.
I think by the
It's
time it
repetitive.
gets to the end cycle of that year, they have it somewhat down, but then whenever they don't carry it to the next year, it's just like, oh, hey, we're going to start with that same process we did last year. And then by the time this one's over, it's going to be the same thing. Wash, rinse,
Yeah.
repeat.
Exactly, and it won't benefit them or the players. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's pretty much it.
It's just it's infuriating because it's fucking hard to program a game, let alone a game that has that big of a base to it, right? So you have all these people wanting certain things. You want all of them, hey, you should update this, you should upgrade that, next year, and do all these things where it's incredibly tough to not only program it, but then have actual skaters there and translate that to a fucking machine, and then integrate that perfectly. Which I understand that aspect of it, right? But they have the technology now to fix things that should have been done. I'm talking like probably NHL 15.
It's 17.
Yeah,
Whenever they
15, I'll
were
probably
on
go with
Xbox
that.
One, whenever Xbox One was next gen,
right.
that's when it
So-
should have been done.
To
I was
me,
15.
to me personally, like as an NHL fan, that's inexcusable. As you look at games like fucking even Assassin's Creed and shit, where they're constantly listening to people from that franchise and they're upgrading their development software and stuff like that. Why can't EA do that? Are they too
I think that
focused
goes
on
back to your
bigger?
point where the NHL department is just probably just so under budget. They probably don't have that kind of money.
I think they're just focused on
probably
bigger
wanna do
titles.
it, they just can't.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think they're more
I mean-
focused on Madden and actually probably just Madden and FIFA.
well,
FIFA-
Battlefield
FIFA's
too.
the big one.
Yeah,
FIFA's
Battlefield.
the big one.
Yeah, but like their sports department, like it's only Madden and FIFA. I mean, since when have they wanted to make the change to the Frostbite engine with NHL?
They need to.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They really
wanted
do.
to actually do it since like what, 15? 15 was it 15 or was it
They
16?
should have been on there the whole time.
I want to
Honestly.
say that was 16.
It was
Yeah.
16. That was when they rumored it, and then we're still waiting, and it's 21.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That tells you they.
By the way, politics. Thanks for the posture check. By the way,
No, you're good, man.
It's
Had to
just
make sure.
I don't know, man. Regardless of, and I don't want to like just consistently shit on EA, but it comes to a point where if you see all these diehard fans of the franchise and they want to see something good and well put together, and I think 21 did that in a lot of ways already, but some of the basics, man, you got to get the basics down if you're gonna have a sports game, right?
Well, not
Yeah.
only that, it's going to a more more of a sim route, I would say, because like it's more of a simulation, and like it gets slower and slower every year. I'd say perhaps maybe the programming to a certain like aspects in the game gets worse. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
like
don't know about
if
the
it
speed
were
part, because I was looking
Sorry.
back at clips from 16 and 17 from whenever I was on Hut, and those guys seem like they are just skating on concrete or sand or something. It is crazy how much faster the people like your characters are in this year compared to last year and years
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah, and not only that, I mean, we all remember NHL 14, and personally, I think it was like the most elite NHL in like the last decade. I'd say
13 and 14 were my go-tos.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
definitely,
were good ones.
definitely, yeah. And it's crazy how, like, personally, I think that because of their repetitive process, I'd say, I don't know. Since they made the whole like switch to the new gen, which was considered PS4 and Xbox One back then, nothing went the same. Like, nothing was the same. Like, nothing went their way either. I don't know. Something wrong with that though.
Well, the worst part about that was when they made the switch. That was 15, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
On the next gen, you didn't even have multiplayer. You had
No, you didn't have Hut or nothing.
no. You didn't have any of that, and that's the worst part about it. Like, if that game at its core with no multiplayer, even the basics to it is like pretty much equivalent to what we have now. That far along ago, something's got to change.
Definitely.
I mean, the skating is one thing. I love the skating this year. I think it's
This game is definitely better.
yeah,
I
it's
definitely
it's
like
a
the loose deeks.
it's a fair playing field for that aspect. But like as far as puck bounces, pickups, stuff like that, yeah,
That stuff is still bad.
yeah,
The
yeah.
passing
Dude,
is
the passing is
the
horrible.
passing is literally AIDS.
Player changing, that's probably the worst.
Player changing is still bad.
Dude, I am like almost breaking my right trigger trying to change players, and it just
Yeah.
stays on the same person. I'm like, oh my fucking god! If I get
My
scored
left
on right now,
is messed up right now. So is my right trigger.
I'm surprised I haven't broken this thing. I hit it off my desk a few times yesterday.
I haven't broken mine yet either, but yeah, my left stick's a little fucked, and then my right trigger is like really messed up too because I've been literally have to player switch like constantly trying to get the people I want.
Nah,
It's
I
ridiculous.
haven't broken a controller in a while, man. Like it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been ever since I stopped playing Hut. I've had the same controller for a while. I've Hulk smashed a few. I've thrown some across my room when I lived back at home with my mom.
I still have my controller still.
You guys broke your controllers? That's
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
dude.
yeah, bro.
I'm pretty sure if you look in my Discord, you can see a picture of one of mine.
It probably
Oh.
isn't there.
Oh no, I'm flexing actually. I broke 2 of my consoles. I broke 2 of my PS4s because of that, dude. Straight up
That's
threw
how
the
bad it
fucking controller out of it, like spiked it.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, I don't blame you.
I would never
That's
do that to my console. I'd do it to a controller, but I don't know if I'd do that to a console.
Hey, I'm a
Consoles,
rich prince, okay?
controllers are easier to use in a console, so that's why.
Mm.
I'm a rich prince here, okay? So
I
you
know.
guys,
Save some for the rest of us, dude.
Send some to the rest of us. How about that?
Yes. Yeah, how about send some to the rest of us?
All right.
I got to break mine first.
Wolfie's turn, I think. Wolfie hasn't really given his full
Oh
opinion.
no, I definitely did. I gave mine.
Are you sure?
I gave my piece.
There you go.
Oh, there's a broken TV.
So let's.
I'm going back into general chat.
Let's move on to the next one. And this is something I think is really speculated on. It's a speculative issue at this point, okay? And it's the fact that there might be a 2K NHL in the future. Given that the rights with EA, I think, are going to tank. I don't think they're going to keep it and hold on to it because we stated Madden, FIFA, all these different things. Battlefield's the big moneymaker for EA. So, do you think 2K, since they're doing golf now, will jump into the ring, grab NHL, and then make that switch?
Goes first.
Anybody?
who's-
Free reign.
I'll do it.
Oh,
So,
there you
Here's
go.
what I don't think it's gonna be next year. I think it might take them a few years to get going, I guess I could say. But yeah, I definitely think 2K is gonna make a comeback because this can't just have one NHL game, man. It's bad. I feel like it's gonna end up being like NBA. NBA Live used to be the go-to.
Yeah.
Now it's 2K. NBA Live now, total
Dog
trash.
shit. Dog
Dog shit. I mean, it is bad. You can't even like hardly dribble. Last time I played was like NBA Live 17.
Jesus.
I will not buy another NBA game
Jesus.
from EA.
Very good.
But yeah, I don't think it'll be immediate. I think it's going to take a few years for 2K to.
Well, okay, let's lead on to that. Do you guys think, like... Because I think it's going to happen. I think everybody thinks it's going to happen.
I definitely think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess it's bound to happen. I'm just not scared about. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about the fact that if 2K were to make a hockey game and it were to actually tank, because like NBA has been tanking recently. People said that 2K20 is bad, and people actually wanted to go back to NBA Live. It's that bad, So like, my biggest fear is that the only company that can actually be competitive in the market can actually like completely evaporate the hockey scene completely from like the video game market or whatever it's called. Because the thing is, if NBA 2K is bad and like NBA Live is bad, it's just
Well, here's
too
the
much to
thing.
handle. Yeah.
I feel like with the NBA scenario, right, that's the first... And I agree with you. People have been saying it's been bad. But that's the first game that they've had that's been bad in how many years? Right.
It's been a while. 2K is always
Uh,
pretty solid on the NBA.
It
I
doesn't.
thought so too.
It doesn't have
I
the
thought-
reputation that NHL has with EA.
Yeah.
So I
True,
feel
I thought so too. I'm sorry, Sneaky, but like I thought so too. I thought so
Mhm.
too earlier. But the thing is, it's been like this since like 2K18. 2K18, 2K19, and 2K20 were all considerably bad within their community.
really.
So that's the thing. Like they're going on a really worrying direction, I'd say. So I really hope they step up. I guess if they were to actually take it.
Well, see, that almost sounds to me, not to go off the topic of Chell, that almost sounds like when they had baseball with MLB, because MLB, whenever they had the title rights to that,
Which has also been rumored to come back.
I have heard that. But the last game they made was what? I think 15, something like that.
Okay.
2K13.
It was a
You might
13.
have- You might have been
13.
third.
It had
Yeah,
Lindsay
it had
come on
David
the
Price on
cover,
the
I think,
cover.
right?
David Price,
David Price. Okay.
race fan.
Given. But I don't know, man. I think NBA is too big of a title, regardless of if it's going to be bad. It's like Call of Duty at this point. I think people are just going to buy it to buy it.
Oh yeah, COD sells more copies than any other game every year because
Yeah.
everybody likes it. Despite, I mean, they don't like it, but like it's the big seller. Every
They could throw a complete dog shit and people are going to buy it, even though it's
Well,
There's
that's what,
YouTubers that are already done with it. They lasted a few months with Warzone. They didn't last 10 days with Cold War.
yeah.
So
yeah. Cold War's been pretty controversial so far.
I feel like NBA might be like that, but then again, I don't know much about it. I don't play NBA, so I don't.
But here's
Uh,
the thing: it's also the same with Chell. It's like it's dog shit every year, but we still buy it.
Yeah.
We always buy it.
Precisely.
But
There's no,
I'll be honest. The only reason I bought it this year was for World of Chell.
Yeah,
Then I somehow got suckered into HUD again. So
that
we'll
was
see
my,
how that turns out for
I
me.
think that was my fault that you got suckered into HUT.
I think it was.
that's the
honestly.
reason I started in the hut was because of Arkham.
Asshole.
It's all my
I,
fault.
I finally got out of it, and then he's like, no, let's bring you back in, buddy.
No, let's no, hey, check out my team.
Yeah.
You should try this shit too. You can get a pretty good team.
Which, by the way, I used to watch a lot of guys stream NHL, like not even HUT. Like it could have been World of Chell. Breezy, I used to watch him a lot. Crazy
Breezy.
Canuck. I barely see those guys' names pop up anymore. It might just be because like I don't really get notifications for Twitch anymore. But like I used to check Twitter all the time. My Discord, their Discords. I just don't see him in NHL anymore.
Well,
really.
speaking
those
of
guys
Breezy,
are,
Breezy hasn't played NHL in a long time. He
Oh,
plays
yeah.
a lot of Escape from Tarkov. A bunch of different titles now.
Breezy does not play Chell anymore. He's pretty much had it with EA, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Did he drop out of the?
I think he's I don't think he's a game changer anymore.
Because he used to be in that. Crazy Canuck was a game changer. I don't know if he's still in it or not. I haven't seen him in a while.
Game changers will be another conversation topic for another day.
Yeah.
That's a topic I would love to fucking roast people on. That's just I can't with that, dude.
OG Kevin Bacon, real good buddy of mine.
Oh, we all love OG, dude.
Oh, he's the guy.
OG is the man with a fucking plan.
It actually hurts because that man's Twitter feed is the most dynamic, I think, in the EA community, just because of him and his personality. But some of the things he tweets where he's you can tell he's emotionally hurt from the shit that EA has done to the game, and to see somebody like that loves to play the game, not only stream it for people but just play it in general, that hurts me too. So you have that where you have a guy who's growing on the scene, he's getting bigger, not only through Twitch but with the EA community, and then to have him tweet stuff like that, that's EA has to take that into consideration, where not everybody's going to be a Nasher and just promote the game regardless of how much money they're getting from it. But
If you lose OG, you're lost, dude. Like,
I wouldn't say that, but guys like him, like OG, Deke Slayer, you got different
Deke
guys
Slayer.
like that, where they're making such a statement on the community. Any negativity that comes out of those tweets is gonna hurt NHL, because
Dude,
that
and
is
like
true.
even Nasher, he doesn't post as much as he used
Oh
to.
yeah,
no,
no.
Yeah.
Nasher's playing that slap shot rebound game now more
Mhm.
than Shell. I mean, it's become so obvious that even the big top dog creators are not happy with the game anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's clearly, it's in my opinion, like Chell's gone dry. It's gone stale. It's the same thing every year except for just some cosmetic changes. There's really nothing new to it other than yeah, maybe some fancy new little stick deeks or
Mm.
Like the loose board pass to yourself or the behind the net self
yeah,
pass. That like, yeah, those are cool, but I would rather play a game where I don't take 5 tripping penalties in one period or get beat on an offensive rush by a D man whose speed is probably 78 tops.
right.
You know, it's Andy. While back skating, I'll throw that in. While back skating,
Of
fucking
course.
crazy.
But yeah,
Let's not forget about
OG,
Puck Riders.
OG, great guy in the community, absolutely. You know, I've been friends with him for a while now, and I was even in his channel when he was getting like a few average viewers, and he was playing other games like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And it's amazing to see a guy like him just grow so much on the platform over the years. He's really become really one of the really well-known Shell streamers out there, not
Agreed.
just for HUD, but also for Cloud9. Obviously, I mean, obviously Cloud9 big statement last year made a huge presence on not only Twitch but World of Chell in general. Like if you're a streamer, if you're a really good NHL player, you more than likely played for Cloud9. I even played for Cloud9.
Yep.
It's great organization, great time with him. And then Deke, another positive person in the community, just another shining example of someone who's yeah, obviously you get pissed at Chell. It obviously
Everybody does. Yeah.
gets you frustrated. But Deke is kind of one of those guys where it's like he will push through it and he will be a positive person. He provides a positive experience on his stream. And by the way, shouts to him for getting partner the other day.
Hell yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Guy deserves it.
Congrats to Deke. If we can clip that
Yes,
later,
sir.
let's get that
Yeah.
get that over to him. But yeah, those guys have such a positive aura to them, you know, and what they bring to their communities. It's just a shame to see some of that negativity come out of that. But I think if you have another brand, whether it be, you know, like Politics said, if it comes out and it's a bust from the get go, even if it's there and it's another game in the mix, I think for at least 1 year, right, it's going to throw a little bit of diversity at EA and make them realize, oh shit, we got to do something about this, right? Because we don't want, even though NHL is smaller on their budget spectrum, they might realize, hey, we're going to lose a lot of money out of this, right? So
They're going to lose their big creators if they keep this up. I mean, obviously, it's become very obvious that a lot of creators have become more and more disinterested every year with Chell. You see guys like Breezy, prime example, a guy who's really well known in the Chell community, really good player. I've played him several times in HUD.
Top player. He is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, I've played him so many times. And it's like you hate to see guys like him leave the scene because of the game. Like obviously EA should be taking this as a wake-up call to maybe do something to make the game better, bring people back, because obviously it kind of goes back to the whole topic at hand. What we were talking about is 2K. If you bring 2K into the mix, obviously probably a lot of people are probably going to go to 2K if this continues. I might find myself on 2K. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm obviously going to buy it, but
yeah,
I think we all are going to find ourselves on 2K. I highly doubt that EA is going to do anything when 2K like jumps on the market.
no, they're not.
I don't think they will. And I think people would still go to EA too. I think they would get both. A lot of people
I would get both for real.
Exactly.
I would, just to compare them.
I
Right.
would get both.
I would
This
get them
might
to
be
compare
a
for the
bit of a
first year.
reach.
Mhm.
This might be a little bit of a reach, but I don't think if 2K drops another NHL game, I highly doubt that EA is going to actually carry on. They're going to just drop the series overall because they're not actually getting any monetary revenues that high as in like say FIFA or Madden.
Right.
I mean, EA is a mega corporation after all. All they care about is
Money.
like the games that are actually giving them money. Actually, yeah. But, like they don't care. They're not like a small company. Let's say like those indie games or whatever. That they just make one game and they carry on with a sequel and a sequel and a sequel because it's like a thing in their company. It's like that
Money
one
grabber.
game that basically. So like they have a lot of games and they're basically at the stock market now. So like think as a big corporation, I'd say so.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't
I agree.
know. I think it's gonna be interesting down the road to see, what
If two
happens.
teams in the mix, and
Yeah.
if so, how do they approach it?
I think that's gonna depend on how well our sales do with golf and the PGA, because I think that's a smaller market than NHL is, and
Way smaller.
right, to see the market on that, I see a lot of people
Right.
streaming that. So
The show's already small as it is.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I
The
think
directory-
that's the testing in the waters to see, hey, should we make the jump to that other level then, and go from there. So
Right. Exactly.
Well, not only that, but you also have to keep in mind that, see, if 2K dropped an NHL game, puck ragging wouldn't exist. Okay, I'm just gonna say it out there. Everyone can actually agree or disagree. It's up to you.
I
Yeah,
agree.
personally-
Holding on the backhand is crazy. Like you hold on the backhand, you're not getting touched.
You're literally
Yeah.
invincible on the backhand. You literally can't hit at all. You literally just bounce off of them and do nothing.
Yeah, and not only that, like, I hate it when that happens. Okay, most of my games, since I'm like in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so most of my games are like red ping. Like I play red ping like most of the time. So every
That's
time
so
someone like
pleasant.
puck, yeah, like every time like someone rags the puck or like back skates or does that really cheesy shit, dude, I hate myself even more.
Bring back peer to peer.
Jesus, dude.
I don't know.
There needs to be peer to peer connection again. I mean, while I said earlier, like, yeah, servers. I mean, I've not had any issues so far. Like, I'm getting West Ping, which is great. I'm not playing on, because that was a big problem with me last year and obviously years before. I play on 100 ping like all the time, and it's gotten to a point where I get so used to it. It's like it doesn't really phase me as much, but it still is unpleasant. It's an unpleasant experience for me overall. But yeah, I mean, the servers are better this year, but still, I would like for it to go back to peer to peer. But they still have to kind of find a way to counter the IP booting situation, because even with servers, it seems to be that it's still happening, and people are still finding ways to glitch and, desync and people. And obviously, one of my own mods in Hut Champs this past weekend was desynced in one of his games. It was on Reddit, so I think everybody kind of like knows about the whole situation, but it's something that I don't know what they can do to counter it, even if they brought back peer to peer. I will hope they bring it back, but I mean, so far I'm making it work with servers.
Yeah, I know everybody's bitching this year about servers. That's a big thing. It's not just you West Coast guys or people in Central or anything like that. I struggle on the East Coast sometimes, just having
Yeah, there's not many of us out here at West. There's a good amount of decent players out here. Like, you got me, you got Nuke, you got some of the other good guys. You got Deke, obviously, Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good handful of good West players out here, but yeah, for the most part, it's pretty rough because I end up getting put on Central or East Ping in old games, and that's just so infuriating for me.
Oh, I believe that.
I'll
I
be
mean,
honest.
you're also-
I want to get my name back up to where I was before I stopped playing Hut. I feel like I was out there. That's probably tooted my own horn a little bit, but I feel like I fell off a little bit. So obviously, I've lost a few of my followers that were pretty regular, I would say. Like Pasta, haven't talked to him in a while. Who else do we have? Bozak. Bozak was like my go-to guy for Discord or anything like that. Haven't talked to him in a long time. There's just a long list of names.
Well, I think that's like that any time when you have a fan base that is used to seeing one particular thing, and then you can switch for an hour and do a different
They're
title,
gone.
and then that's
They're
it.
gone.
Yeah, they're outie. So it's like that's just streaming, man. That's the tough part about it, because people are like, "Hey, I just want to see this."
Sometimes
you
they
know.
would stick through it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, those guys would usually stick through it with me. They would go to if I went to COD, they'd follow me to COD. If I went to Monopoly, Monopoly of all games, those guys would stick around for a little bit and hang out. But
Yeah.
We stuck with you.
yeah, you guys have always
Yeah.
stuck with me. Anytime I'm live, I always see your guys' names in chat. And honestly, I'm not saying I want to get like 1,000 viewers this fucking stream. Obviously, that's not possible for me. Even just seeing even one person in my stream, I'm happy with it. Like, I'm just there to hang out. I'm not there for
Oh, yeah.
fame or money or anything like that. I'm just here to have a good time.
I'm there to watch you do what I do, and that's rage at fucking.
I feel like I do that pretty well.
You're good at raging. You're better than me. I can't yell. I can't throw things. I can't break things. But like I want to so bad. But I'm not going to.
Oh, dude, wait! I got something special for next time. I got a stick that's the blade's just it's fucked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to break it by the end of the year, like completely in half. I've only broken one stick in my life, and that's because I got sandwiched between it and the wall and another dude, and that thing's fucking.
What's worse, snapping the stick or snapping the console?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say stick because sticks are not cheap. Consoles aren't cheap, but sticks
Yeah.
it hurts. It hurts inside because you only have like a 30-day warranty.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easier to replace a console
I
consciously.
agree.
Better
Yeah.
than spending $300 on a stick. Like, man, I don't.
And then
use
have it
this every
last a
day.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a game, like half, maybe. Given the
I completely
circumstance.
forgot about your most loyal viewer, Wolfie. You forgot about Philip.
Oh, God. On to the next topic.
There we go. You know what? Save it for the stream, pal. Save it for the stream.
There for the stream on that one.
All right. So the last thing I really think we were looking to cover tonight, because we're already at fucking almost an hour.
45 minutes.
Yeah. The NHL has just recently released an article that I have pulled up here that they are planning on starting the season on January 13th. And apparently they're going to try to have, decently. Now, it's still up in the air because they're talking about division realignment, having Canadian divisions, these different things. But they're planning on having a regular full season schedule and trying to have this play out to the norm. Just want to get your kind of base reactions on that. Do you think it's, gonna work out in a safe manner, or do you think it's gonna turn into this thing we're seeing with the NFL, where you have 9-10 guys on a team getting tested positive? Just basic thoughts.
Does anyone want to go first for me? Because I got something very, very long to say.
Go ahead.
I mean, I could if you want.
Let's go for it. Somebody start it.
I just politics is eager. Go ahead.
Let's hear it, buddy.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Right. So, I've read a few articles the other day. I'm not sure how, to say the least, how actually like real they are. I would say that's the term. I'm sorry. English is my second language, and I get trippy in like vocabs and stuff. Whatever. I'm not sure if these articles are true though, because like I've read somewhere that the NHL for like next season might actually not be held at all. Like it could be canceled. So at this point, I'm not really sure about the safety, since like last season's bubble was like one of the most successful bubbles in like every single American sports like out there. I've read some really positive things about it. I've read that I think there were like 4 testing phases, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 4 or 5?
I think
But
4.
like by the third, 4, right? Yeah. I think it's 4. So like by the 4th one, I think by the 3rd one or the 4th one, I'm not entirely sure. There were no actual positive cases of COVID throughout like the employees, the staff, the players, everyone. So that I think the NHL can actually hold it. Like I think they could actually like make sure that it's at least safe or running. And but I don't know. I just hope that it's not canceled. That's my thought.
Right. I think that's the general feeling too. Nobody wants it to not happen, but
We want hockey back.
yeah.
For sure.
And I'm to that point where it's like I don't even care if it's in my dad, a huge hockey fan, he got me into it. He doesn't agree with them starting that late, or at all. At that point, he said they might as well wait till next September, seeing where things kind of fall out. With COVID testing and vaccines and this and that. And I said, well, at least they're gonna have hockey in general, hopefully, in January. Regardless of whether it's gonna be a full schedule, whether it's gonna be like a game or 45 games, whatever, you're gonna have something.
I'd rather have one game than no game because I can't handle the shit no more, man. I have to have it.
I could see maybe half a season happening and then doing the same bubble again, because that's kind of like how the NBA did it. Like, or no, sorry, the MLB. The MLB did really short seasons and they did playoffs, obviously. But I mean, obviously, player and personnel safety is the most important thing. So we all want hockey to be back, 100%. I miss this. I miss the sport, and like Wolfie said, yeah, I'm losing my absolute goddamn mind during this whole COVID stuff. But it's just like it sucks that it's starting this late. I mean, usually around New Year's Day, we're expecting the Winter Classic, the outdoor stuff. Almost getting like to the midpoint of the season. Obviously, you look and you see like, oh yeah, like who's standing out, who's probably going to make the playoffs, who looks like a contender. And obviously, it's different with it starting late and potentially, like I said, I feel like it's going to be a half season probably. I think that's would make sense because how many games are NHL season? 82, right?
Yep.
I could see them maybe doing like a 40 game season or something like that, and then just going into playoffs, the same bubble. Because I will say, I believe it was Politics who brought this up. The NHL bubble extremely well executed by the NHL. Just completely good system. Hardly, I don't know. Was it? I mean, did anybody even test positive for COVID
Not
during
one.
that thing?
Not one.
Nope.
It was executed extremely well, and I think that was really good on NHL's part. And it's just like they do bring it back for even if it's just a short season. I mean, obviously you have to take into consideration safety, number one thing, and the U.S. in general and a bunch of other countries are struggling with COVID right now. So obviously, which also I can bring up because it's also been speculating around that a lot of teams, including my Kings, are rumoring to look into the possibility of playing outside to allow attendance for fans. So you kind of wonder like what would go on if that actually was true. If teams can get playing outside, where would they play?
I'll be honest, I don't care where they play. I don't care if it's outside. I don't care if they play inside. Nobody's allowed in. I just want it on TV.
Right.
I just want to be able to sit down and watch it, hear about it. I don't care. I just want to have some form of hockey being played right now. I'm cool with waiting until the 13th of January. That's perfectly fine with me, as long as I know that there's going to be a confirmed season, which it's not confirmed. Like Pancake said, it's not confirmed yet, but it sounds to me like they're getting pretty damn close to getting it all figured out. More progress than what we've been making, from what I've read.
From what I gather, it's really just the NHL board and the NHL Players Association really coming to terms with it on whether or not they feel like it's an appropriate time to really start it. And I think, coming around maybe a week from now, week and a half, something like that, we're going to have a definitive answer, at least to what they're looking at.
If I can interrupt, yeah. So we actually have Anaheim Ducks themselves in my chat, who says that outside is probably not even going to be a real thing, and that also kind of is good because that brings up what I can't remember which one of you said it, but it's like, yeah, I think it was Politics. You can't believe everything that they put on the internet. Like
right.
you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You can't like there's rumors, but not all rumors are factual. So it's a good point from the Anaheim Ducks themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't want the NHL to be canceled, dude. Jesus.
We're not friends, but I respect your opinion. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
I'm friends with everybody.
No, I agree with
Big
that.
fan of Paul Korea, by the way. Big fan.
I don't think anybody wants it to be canceled.
Definitely.
Regardless, that's just like any sport, I mean, the NFL has kept me sane now for how long? Just, with the little bits I watch from what I can. So, but I'd rather be watching hockey.
I would say, to be on the safe side, if it came down to this, I would rather see another bubble. It's like another bubble situation, like Edmonton and Toronto again. That'd be fine.
You wouldn't be able to do that with full teams, though.
No, you're gonna need more areas. You're definitely gonna need more areas. Like, what was it, Las Vegas? That was rumored to be one of the bubble areas at one point. Yep. I would probably look into that. I think St. Louis was in the running, but I would not be in Missouri right now because it is a red zone right now.
LA
for
should not
sure.
Be either. LA is doing really bad too. You can't even go outside in LA right now. It's like everybody's got to stay inside. Like California's on complete lockdown right now until probably December 21st or longer.
Go to Minnesota. It's cold up there.
So here's the question: if they were to do that, right, and implement the bubble again, how would you manage the schedule if you were to go through with this, right? Would you still keep it possibly at the 40 game, season mark? Would you shorten it from that? Would you keep it, say 25 games? Then just see how the standings equate. How would you
LA
handle
doesn't
that?
even like LA.
No, we don't.
Oh man. But to answer your question, I feel like if you spread out the divisions, if you had certain bubbles for these rumored divisions, I feel like you could keep the 40 game policy going.
Okay.
But then again, it would be difficult because you have all these teams playing each other, and that would just get repetitive. I mean, not that matters, but
To a point,
just-
it would, because then, statistically speaking, you're taking,
yeah,
if they
It
realign
does-
divisions, make
yeah.
another division, something like that, whether it be a Canadian one or anything like that, then
By the way, the Canadian one, I would be 100% down with.
I would be okay with that. Yeah.
I like it.
Too.
They say that is only in speculation. I'll get back to what I was saying, but that's only in speculation to limit the risk of COVID exposure between them traveling to the U.S. and obviously that transference. But I think in the long run, if they were to do this bubble method, it would take a lot more to determine. Okay, hey, we have 2 new divisions, some teams in the old ones. And then you'd have to figure out, okay, well, are we still going to do, what is it? The same seeding bracket? Or are they going to go back to what they did last year and then just have it, some teams be like, hey, we only, we're out by a point, and then you decide to cut it right here, where it's not that full season, right? You're going to have the same thing. And I feel like that's still a little bit complicated with, determining that result.
It was a lot more easier last year, since when COVID hit, everything was settled. Like teams like LA Kings, the Detroit Red Wings were already out of the competition.
We were long out.
Yeah,
They were
long
out before the season
We-
even started.
we
let's
had
be
no
real.
Yeah,
Yeah, before the season started, we knew we were going to be bad again. We're going to be bad again next year, so.
yeah, true. I could say the same thing about my Red Wings, but it's gonna be a lot complicated next year. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I think shortening. I can't even say it. Not lengthening the games, to say the least. Keep it to 40 to 25 game limits. Play them real close to each other. Make them in the same city or something. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot more complicated. I think the NHLPA is gonna consider every single option, but I'm not sure about the players. I'm not sure if the players are gonna actually consider playing under these certain conditions.
Right.
I'm glad they're taking their time with it though, just so that everything is figured out.
It also brings
At
up
least they're not rushing into it.
it also brings up recently that a lot of NHL players have also been complaining about pay cuts too. That's definitely another topic to consider as well for the future. Is the whole NHL players are not happy with the whole pay cut situation.
And they shouldn't be. I don't think they should be.
No comment from me.
Let's look at it this way. You have a situation where guys are making millions to play the game. And my dog is freaking out, man. But
She's waking up.
yeah, she's waking up.
Uh-oh.
You have this situation where you look at the NFL where Patrick Mahomes is making, was it $50 million, I think, over the course of 10 years? Maybe more than that.
He's making a ridiculous amount of money.
So you have this compared to the NHL where they're making a fraction of that over maybe 5 years. I don't think it's right for them to bitch about a pay cut just because, that's the typical person to me, right? Where you're playing a game. It's not like you're, going to war and they're like, hey, we're just going to cut your paycheck in half, right?
Well, I'll have to disagree with you on that one. Here's the thing. Potentially, as a hockey player, I know this is a worst case scenario type of situation, but generally, whenever you're going on the rink, you're generally you're not adept to actually life-changing injuries. So, for instance, someone like Zdeno Chara can actually body check someone like Johnny Gaudreau, and Gaudreau would just never wake up. he stays on the ground and just like announces his retirement. I think there was a player who actually announced his
He
retirement.
announced his retirement on the ice as he's out cold.
Yeah. That's yeah. I don't think he even needs to talk, dude. Like I don't know. Anyway, I hate you so much, Wolfie.
Hey, or here's another scenario for you. Off
Yeah.
the floor, on the board, Paul Correa style.
Oh,
There you go.
yep.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, they're prone to injuries. I think Johan Franzen is a great example from my own team, the Red Wings. Like, he's been concussed for like a long ass time now. I think he actually retired. He had a few years left in him, but like the thing is, like, these injuries are permanent. So I think I know that on a business perspective, it's good to cut their salaries because like the NHL is not profiting as much as they used to be, but they have to find a way around it because it's just I don't know. You might actually like find yourself with a life-threatening injury.
Well, to touch on that point, and not to beat around the bush on it, I'm with you on the pay cut thing, right? I don't agree that they should have their pay cut. But when it comes to the injury portion of it, there's only so much you can do with that type of environment that you're in. Because you take the NFL, too, for existence. There's only so much you can do when you're playing a physically demanding sport. Injuries are going to happen, man. Like, there's no preventing this. You know, you can do what the NHL did and call in the hybrid icing and this and that. But if you have an open ice hit where it's clean and it's legal and it's just a hard fucking hit and the guy hits the wrong way, that's part of the game, man. You know what I mean? It's horrible. It's a horrible thing. Yeah, it's a horrible thing to have happen to somebody, but that's I don't want to say inevitable, but it happens, man. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not like debating that. I'm just saying that at least give him some of the the cuts back, because like I think that like personally, I think like the salary cap in hockey is just laughable.
No,
I
I
think
agree.
it's like. Yeah, like it's very like extremely laughable compared to the other sports. I highly doubt that the NHL like doesn't profit enough from hockey itself. It's just
What was
I
it?
don't know. I feel like
Baseball has the
it's
highest
just
payroll, I
weird.
think, in all of Major League Sports. If I looked last,
Could be. Was it or was it the NFL? I'm not sure.
I could have sworn it was the MLB, but it might be the NFL now. I'm not sure.
It could
You
be.
know
Yeah.
what? I can give it a Googles.
I mean, if you want to, but yeah,
I
it's
got
it's
you.
not the NHL though. That's the point.
No,
You
it's
give
definitely
me
not
just
the
a minute
NHL.
and I got this figured out, okay?
I'm
Yeah,
willing
no,
to
yeah.
bet. I'm willing to bet because golf actually makes astronomical money for the PGA.
Yeah,
not
golf's-
putting them above the NHL at any rate, but they make fucking money, man. Like golfers could come in 13th place and they make quite a bit of money.
Well, here's for this guy. So AJ, one of my mods in chat, by the way, hey AJ, how's it going? Welcome. On that talk of salary cap, he says players get like not even a tenth of like an NBA salary.
Yep.
I might have
Precisely.
worded this Google that I did a little weird, but I typed in highest salary sports league and it's the NBA. Each player
Really?
averaging
Completely forgot about that.
8.32 million for
Jesus.
each player, roughly.
Yeah.
What is the MLB at?
Give me a second.
No, you're good. You're good, man. No, that
Continue your conversation. while I
for the
follow
longest time it was the MLB over like the NFL and the NBA, but I can see why the NBA is up there.
Average
How-
player salary in the MLB is 4.03 million.
Here, hot take from AJ. McDavid's next deal is going to break the CBA. It's a hot take.
I would not be surprised. I think McDavid is the face of the NHL right now.
I would agree with that.
I would. Yeah, I'd say that.
When you think of the NHL, ordinarily in the past, you would think of Ovechkin or Crosby. Probably the top two guys probably that come to name when you think of hockey. But right now, when I think of NHL, I think of one name, and that's Connor McDavid right now.
Me too. I was about to say it, yeah.
I
It's the
do.
one guy-
Crosby and Ovi are like great, but they're like McDavid has overpassed them like in the last.
They're
2
veterans. They're veterans now.
I think that's debatable.
As a Penguins fan, yeah, definitely
Well,
debatable.
here's the thing. There are Sid's at that age now where he's gonna slow down. Naturally, that comes with age, right? But he's still doing things he's been doing since he was 18. You know, he still has the speed to him for as old as he is. He still has the playmaking to him. But you have a guy like McDavid where he's just, you know, you look at the fucking overwhelming dominance that man can take over a game. And that's what Sid did when he was that young. So it's like, for me as a Penguins fan, as much as I love Sid, it's hard for me to sit here and admit that, you know, McDavid's at that level yet that Sid was at that age. But I certainly can't say that he's not either. You know what I mean? He just doesn't have I don't think the team around him that Sid did when he was that young. So I think that's the only thing they're missing is having the right pieces to, you know, have that whole program come together. I mean, they have Draisaitl, but, you know, you can't make a team around just one other guy, you know.
No, you can't. Edmonton can't rely on those two to carry that team to win a Stanley Cup. There's no way. You need a lot more talent around them. They need players to work with in order to win a championship. I mean, obviously, Kings, prime example. You know, you can't just rely on Kopi and Doughty. And what we did was we traded a lot of contracts, a lot of draft picks to win those two Stanley Cups. And right now we're paying the price for that completely. Because you know that we can't win with just 2-star players. You got to have talent around them to win. And that's exactly what we did.
A lot of times,
Kyle Turris, Edmonton.
Yeah.
A lot of times that doesn't even have to be talent too. It could be just, you know, a role playing guy. Like that's what the Penguins
Grit
did.
players.
Exactly. When we got Hornquist from you guys, that was one of my favorite deals of all fucking time. Because that man he did that gritty shit that nobody wanted to ever do. And the fact that we let him just go the way we did, did you see the article of what Horny did? Just dropped a
not.
Penguins said, hey, well, actually, they didn't even tell him. The Penguins organization never even told Hornquist he got traded to Florida. And, you know, somebody told him, like one of his friends or something told him, and, you know, through Twitter or whatever, walked outside, fucking took his equipment bag, all of his pads and shit, dropped them right in the fucking driveway and just left. Took off down to Florida.
That's rough, man.
Hmm?
We got another comment in my chat where it said Edmonton should have drafted Caulfield over Broberg.
I believe that's Bozak.
Is it?
I think that is Bozak. Bozak, I fucking miss you. Come back.
Is it?
Baby, come back.
You can blame it
No.
on me.
Yeah, he changes his name every so
Oh,
often.
sorry. I completely forgot what I was saying. You guys call him horny?
I called him Horny, yeah. That was a popular name for him.
Now he's in Florida. Now he's in Florida.
Oh,
Yeah, now he's in
man.
Florida. So they can call him whatever the fuck they want down there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Know what? Here. You know what? Let's bring up my team real quick. I don't know what the fuck happened between the finals from 17 to now, but it is ridiculous, and I am tired of it, and I'm tired of the same fucking problems. So I am fucking glad David Poyle sent Austin Watson back into Ottawa, and I am fucking gone. He bought out Turris' contract. Have fun in Edmonton, pussy.
Hey, do you guys still have Bonino?
No, he's
you know
he's
what?
Minnesota.
No.
Oh,
Hold on,
really?
Hold up. Reel back to Bonino real quick. I am
Minnesota.
not very happy with that fucking trade. That dude played his fucking heart out for this team. And you know what they did? They said, hey, bud, get your shit. You're going to Minnesota. Bring in Luke Kunin, or Cunnin, however the fuck you say his name. He's from St. Louis, by the way. I'm excited to see how he is, but I'm still not very happy that we got rid of Bonino. That dude was
He's a workhorse, man.
He's
very
a
much so.
player.
You
got
know
like
what? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that dude was our fucking offense. He didn't score very many goals, but he was setting up plays.
Okay,
is
no, not that far.
Facts.
Not that far.
No, that is far, buddy. That dude was in the dirty areas, getting pucks, laying bodies. He was defensive too, and I fucking loved him, and I miss him.
It's gonna be interesting to see how things are now that Laviolette is not the coach anymore. He's obviously with the Caps now. Now,
Don't get me started on John Hines.
yeah, I was gonna say Nashville, obviously new coach.
You know what?
A lot
You
of the
know
team is very similar. than what it was. But obviously, some departures, some arrivals, but it's going to be interesting to see how they go forward. Obviously, Nashville's kind of one of those teams that I do want to see do well, and I'm glad that they made the finals in 17. And I thought that they were the better team in that series. To be honest, it was definitely an interesting series, but unfortunately, Pittsburgh prevailed. Battle of your two teams, obviously.
Not only did they prevail, you know who prevailed?
Your old flame.
Fucking Hornquist.
Your old flame, buddy.
That was the salt in the wound.
It had to be Hornquist. Yep, that was the one.
It hurt me. It hurt me so much.
Going on that series, man, if we're going to talk about that series, I had no idea what the fuck was going to happen, which I think is the way most Stanley Cup finals are, right? I didn't know, because I don't watch Nashville games all the time, right? I didn't know how your system was or how you functioned. I didn't know how high-powered your defense fucking was, which was ridiculous.
It is even... you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say that our defense is as best as it's been on paper this year than it probably has ever been.
Yeah, that's frightening. That's fucking frightening as an opposing team to come into that situation.
We got Yossi Ellis first line, and then you got Ekholm Fabro second line, and then more than likely going to be, was it Borowicki? I think that's how you pronounce it, and Benning on the third pair. Not only that, we have guys like Jared Tenorti waiting on the healthy scratch list.
You know what the Penguins have? We have an aged Chris Letang, and we have a young Brian Dumoulin, who's strictly defensive.
And aged
guys definitely should have kept Oli Mata.
The fuck, dude.
Yeah, he's with us now.
Have fun, Arkham.
We will.
That man's a fucking
liability.
He's a pylon.
He's a liability.
Dude, I thought he was bad watching him on TV when I went to see I took her to her first NHL game at Valentine's Day, right? Watching Ole Mata in person is even worse. Like, I don't understand his thought process, man. Like, I know I can't do better. Like, I admit that. But, dude, you could throw a watermelon out there and it has more defensive awareness than fucking Mata.
Dude, before I was a Preds fan, obviously I was a Blues fan because I'm from St. Louis.
All right.
And Patrick Bergwijn, that dude got the most fucking hate out of any player anytime. I guarantee it. There was always somebody yelling for him to get off the ice because he is.
I got some comments that we can definitely respond to in chat. As far as
you might want to read the Pecorini comment first, okay?
Oh,
I swear to God.
Pecorino comment. Oh boy. Okay.
Where's it at?
let me hear one.
Well, first of all, we have a couple comments from some people in my chat. We have one person agreeing with us saying that Benino is a freak, and it definitely is in a good way, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And we have AJ bringing up a point that I definitely agree with strongly, 100%, and that is that the most underrated defense in the NHL is Carolina, and Carolina is a team that I would love to just go on and on about how great they've been over the last couple seasons. And he also says I think it's Bozak, says Pens have no prospect pool. But going back to AJ real quick, Dougie Hamilton, incredibly underrated defenseman. That's hot take and a half. I mean, I absolutely love Hamilton.
I wouldn't say he's underrated, though.
I will agree with you. Askarov will be better than Rene because I guarantee you they're going to be sticking him with Saros if they keep him around with Askarov, and Askarov is going to be phenomenal. Getting drafted in the first round as a goalie, crazy.
I wouldn't classify Hamilton as underrated. I wouldn't say he's overrated.
I would say he's underrated for sure. Yeah, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit.
I always gave him enough credit, man. I never thought he was, even back to his days in Boston and shit, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I always liked that guy. I never,
He's always been a freak.
Dougie. Yeah, I love Dougie Hamilton. Great player. I use his card in Hut. I mean, obviously you can't. I mean, Hut's pretty unrealistic compared to real life, but I mean, in my opinion, yeah, Dougie Hamilton, I would definitely agree that he's definitely underrated, in my opinion.
Who's overrated?
He doesn't get noticed enough. Is probably what I want to say.
And I would not have said this 3 years ago. PK Subban.
Huh.
PK Subban is so overrated. Completely overrated.
Turnover machine.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
What did he have? 24 points last season?
Yeah, he had a major fall off.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be that kind of person to bring it up, but it's like you guys got fleeced on that Weber Subban deal.
You know the
I
best
think
thing about Subban?
Weber's
Oh, yeah.
thriving in Montreal.
You know
Best thing about Subban is his fiance.
Yeah,
let's keep it easy on that shit. I was gonna say the best thing he does is give it to charity and shit, but
yeah, he's good for that.
I mean, he's pretty cool at that, but
he's
Yeah.
he's good for the personality of the game.
yeah,
That's a lot of people like know him for, is like not necessarily like Vegas, you know, like their theatrics, but like he is kind of like a theatrical person. Like he's kind of like one of those guys, like like you notice him, stands out from the bunch.
yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like as a player, I feel like he's definitely dropped off over the years.
How do you guys
Not only
feel?
that,
Go ahead, Paulie.
I mean, sorry, I feel like it's not just that he's overrated or whatever. I feel like his consistency is on an all-time low recently. I don't know. Like, judging by his performance last season, I haven't seen anything that would be very impressive. It could be that he's like played well in a few games, but I haven't seen much of him, I'd say the least.
I'm gonna need him
lot
to
of-
play better in a stretch than just a few games.
Yeah. Even going back,
guess.
to the like we said about the Cup final game in between the Penguins and the Preds. Even then, man, as good as he should have been with that defensive core, man, he was non-existent. I feel like.
Non-existent, and Crosby was living in his head rent free.
Yeah,
True.
Literally.
you cannot have a guy of that caliber who's a number line 1D man have that happen, especially in a game 6 or a game 5.
Yeah, like I don't want to be that guy, but
I
as
agree with
much as he was getting dogged on by the media, you would think, as terrible as the media is, you would have to have thick skin, especially in that sport. But to let Sidney Crosby get in your head the way he did, I've never seen Crosby in anybody's head like he was in PK's. That's crazy. And like
Oh,
PK was
Ovechkin.
going up.
Ovechkin
against
always
guys
got
like
it worse, man.
Marchand. Marchand of all people, you're gonna let Crosby get in your head, but you're not gonna bat an eye at Marchand.
I hate
Give me a break,
Marchand,
man.
dude. That
Give me a
dude,
fucking break.
I don't say I hate a lot of people, but Marchand.
I hate that man. I hate him with a passion.
NHL. Biggest rat in the NHL.
Yep.
Okay, hot take, but I actually like Marchand.
All right,
Ooh.
I think we're done here.
Yeah, all right, I'm logging off, guys. I'll see you later.
See yourself out.
I'm gonna move him down to the COD chat real quick.
Yeah, go down to the COD chat, but that's wholly controversial.
Why? Can I ask
Should we give?
why?
That's what we have to give him a chance to at least kind
Listen,
of.
I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player. That's
In what aspect?
I'll give it. He's. I will say he's a good shooter, and he's good at getting under people's skin too. That's a big part in today's game. You let somebody in your head, you're off your game.
He's good at licking people too.
That dude, if somebody lick me when I'm playing a game, I'll be like, okay, hold the fuck up. Did this dude just lick me? As like they're already at the other end, getting chances.
Yeah, like Bozak and AJ both saying, he's a skilled player, but it's completely
terrible.
terrible.
Uncalled for.
You know what?
But he is a skilled player. You can't say that Marchand is not skilled.
You know who he reminds me of though? In all retrospect, he reminds me of a Sean Avery. Just this fucking
Just not as in your face as Sean.
yeah,
Avery is.
right. Sean Avery was just the biggest fucking asshole for no
He
reason.
still is to people that walk in the bicycle lane
Oh yeah,
or park in the bicycle lane.
he has that same kind of mentality to him, just not as exuberant as Avery was.
He doesn't
So
flaunt it as much.
yeah, that fucking highlight of Avery just standing in front of fucking Britter's face, waving the stick in front, dude. The balls on that, man. Like,
Dude, if I was Broder, I would have kept my composure. I probably would have fucking right up the crotch.
oh yeah.
100%. The fuck out of my face. I'm taking a penalty. I don't give a fuck. Get you out of my face.
Waugh wouldn't have taken that shit. Like if Waugh and Avery just
Uh-huh.
Waugh would have fucking had his head on a goddamn pike.
Imagine Hextall.
Yeah.
Actually, do one better. Ray Emery.
Ray Emery, go.
Dude, he would have fucking stopped play.
Fucking legend, dude.
Helmet off, blocker,
Yeah.
trapper off. That dude's getting pounded.
Ray Emery was a legend, dude.
Yeah,
Rest in peace to him, dude. Rest in peace to Ray
Yeah.
Emery, man. Guy was a legend.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
On and
Better
off.
yet, I think Brizgalov is gonna kick his ass. I'm kidding.
Yeah, Brizgalov's gonna come in. And...
Why you have to be mad?
It's only a game.
dude.
What, you have to be mad. He'd settle this on with like a tea party or something.
It's like me when I get fan mail and shell. It's like, why are you mad? It's only a game.
True.
I mean, I guess I can say I'm kind of a hypocrite on that one because I get pissed off at Shell, but I don't send fan mail anymore. It's just not me. But yeah,
No.
Why you
Only if I
mad?
receive it.
Yeah, it's just only a game. Why are you mad?
Yeah. But yeah, like I think that what's his face? Marchand is a good player, basically. He's a goof, as
He's
what AJ
good. He's
He's
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's good.
Here's
I'm
the-
not sure
here's the
why
question.
Sneaky
bring it-
actually
AJ has a
didn't
question.
like Mike Alvarez.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, politics, but
that's fine. Go, go.
so here's a question from AJ. In the Reformed division, rank the Cali teams from best to worst. That's probably something that only I could answer, truthfully, because I don't think my other two or any of these three guys know the Western division very well.
Not very well,
Pretty
no.
familiar with the Ducks.
But yeah, so rank the Cali teams from best to worst.
Ducks are last.
Are we talking about like past season, or are we talking like overall? Like
Now. Let's do now.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
it's
if we're
gonna be a
doing
close
now,
call
current
between
all
San
bad.
Jose and LA.
I was gonna say, 'cause in retrospect, we're all awful. All three California teams are
Oh,
awful.
he says next
San
season.
Jose should be.
He says
They
next
should be
season.
awful. They have Burns and Carlson.
Yeah, that's the
fuck?
thing. Like, okay, no. So San Jose should be a very dominant team because despite that they do not have Pavelski anymore, they still have guys like Hurdle and Couture. Those are two guys that are very good offensive players. Obviously, Jumbo Joe's departed now, so he's not with San Jose anymore. So the thing is like, yeah,
6.
when you've got two of probably the best defensemen in the league, you would think that the Sharks would do well. But I don't know if it's age that caught up to them or inconsistent goaltending, because I feel like that's what's been San Jose's problem, has been goaltending. Not just, obviously, you consider the Sharks probably a veteran team right now, right? Like, definitely not a young team by no means. But you think about it, it's like you have two of the best defensemen in the league, and the Sharks were, I think they were actually dead last in the Western Conference this past season. So obviously the Kings were second worst, but yeah, San Jose is definitely an interesting team to say the least, because obviously two of the best defensemen in the league didn't make the playoffs, very questionable and a half. But now you change things around when you bring in a guy like Devin Dubnyk to be the other tender to Martin Jones, former King. Obviously, Jones, not the best season this past season. And obviously, it's tough to say because, if it's defense or just him in general, but Carlson's one of those guys who you worry about now because he just signed this massive deal with San Jose and he's already getting plagued with injuries. That's not something that you want to see from a guy that you've signed so long. It's not good. I know I'm totally like rambling and going off topic, but
You're good.
yeah, so San Jose definitely has potential, but they have to fix what's going on with that team. So it's really tough to say because, yeah, it's whichever one of you, I think it was Wolfie who said, it's going to be tight between LA and San Jose. I mean,
Yep.
not to disrespect the Ducks at all. Like, I mean, I'm a respectful Kings fan, and obviously I love the rivalry, but yeah, we can't like the Ducks. They don't like us, we don't like them.
I respect everybody but Chicago.
I was just about to say, I think everybody hates Chicago. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a respectful fan, but I would have to put the Ducks at the worst. But at the same time, you have to argue that Ducks have an impressive goaltender in John Gibson. Gibson, in my opinion, is in the top 10 of goaltenders in the NHL right now. Completely unnoticed, completely underrated. that's the devil's advocate for the Ducks. While they do have a lot of talent with Raquel, it's the main thing that you think of the Ducks is Gibson. That's the main piece there. That's the guy that is winning the Ducks games. But the thing is like, yeah, in terms of overall as a team, like not just goaltending but skating, the Ducks, in my opinion, are of the bottom of the three. It's definitely between San Jose and my Kings as the best of the worst in the California. Now, obviously, all three California teams were the three teams in the Western Conference that did not make the bubble this past season. It's funny, right? But at the same time, we're all awful. So it's so tough to say. I mean, obviously, both teams have star caliber. Drew Doughty, Andre Kopitar in LA, Burns, Carlson in San Jose. It's you've got equal star power on both teams. But the thing is, I look at both teams kind of in a rebuilding phase, more than them. We're definitely in a very hardcore, serious rebuild right now. And I commend Rob Blake for sticking to that rebuild. You know, we're not trying to trade and we're not trying to stay, try to get out of this hole that we're in. We're trying to genuinely rebuild and be better in the future. And in my opinion, Kings have one of the best prospect pools in the league. But that's just not being biased at all. But it's if we're talking about overall as a team, the past season or so, I mean, I really don't want to come off as biased. I really don't want to say that LA is better just to say that as a being biased. I mean, Sharks and Kings, both very similar teams, very similar situations. Obviously, both of them are kind of in a goaltending crisis, with Jonathan Quick rapidly aging and injuries catching up to him as to what costed him, a lot of seasons. It's really tough to say, and I really don't want to be biased. It's so tough to say. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys even have any input at all, but it's just like, yeah, it's a tough one for me to say on who I think is better between those two.
My 2 cents on the dollar, I think the best is San Jose. I think they might have an actual edge there, because I'm not sure how they actually made it to the 2016 finals precisely, but I think they have some sort of a star power going on down there.
I'd have to disagree,
flourish.
Only because I think, like Arkham said, that would come down to goaltending in the end, and I think Gibson just has that something that can power the Ducks over the Sharks, in that kind of division there. And I think that would...
If we're talking about goaltending and with the California teams, I feel like it's going to be Sharks over LA.
Yeah.
Purely over the fact because they have 2 veteran goalies and it's just Quick. And how old is your backup goalie?
Campbell, or no, not Campbell. Peterson's pretty young. I don't know exactly how young he is, to be honest with you, but we have Cal Peterson as our backup, and he pretty much, to me, is going to be the goaltender of the future for us. Because I'm really hoping that the Kings do shed Quick's contract, because that's one of the contracts that's been killing us. It's been so bad. The injuries have caught up to him ever since he signed that contract. But I agree 100%. San Jose has the edge in goaltending. You bring in a guy like Dubnyk, and you have Martin Jones still. They're both reliable goalies. But obviously, the thing is, can Jones stay consistent? What I think is going to happen is they're going to trade off roles throughout the season. They're going to switch off. They're not going to have one dominant starter. Those two are probably going to duke it out to see who will be the number one in San Jose. But the thing is, yeah, can Jones stay consistent? That's kind of the thing. Martin Jones, not the best season last season. So they're obviously bringing in Dubnyk because they're not sure if Jones is going to be the number one going forward. That's my opinion on it. But yeah, Sharks 100% edge on goaltending. And I do agree with politics in a way where it's San Jose as a team overall, way better than us. Well, not much better than us, but we're in a similar situation. But the Sharks have more of that offensive talent that LA has. I mean, you can't just rely on Kopitar every single season, because it's no secret that Kopi carries this team. It's 100% Kopi leads in scoring almost every single season, except for that one season where Jeff Carter just completely kind of had one of those little breakout seasons where he led the team in scoring. But you can't rely on Kobe every year. So from an offensive standpoint, San Jose.
Right. I got a topic we can talk about, and it's probably going to be the last topic that I am able to discuss on. How we actually I shouldn't say it that way. Let me put it this way. Who do we think your team is going to give up in the expansion draft for Seattle?
Me?
All of you guys.
Oh, by the way, Bozak pointed out that Cal Peterson is 26 years old.
Same age as Saros, so yeah.
Ooh, I'm trying to think about it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have to think. I have to think of who Seattle would take from us. I need to think on this one for a minute.
Politics?
Listen, I'm not worried since we only have 5 to 6 good players in the entire team. So anyone they're going to take is most likely going to be a bum. So someone who I don't know from the AHL. That's my opinion.
I'm probably going to take a shot in the dark on this one because I really don't think I know too well. But I feel like I could see Seattle maybe gambling on a guy like Dustin Brown for that veteran presence. The guy that has been in several situations like the playoffs. He's been in, rough seasons. That's just my shot in the dark. I feel like they could maybe lean towards a guy like Brown, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to take Brown. But that's just my shot in the dark. I mean, I would think of a guy like Trevor Lewis, but he's no longer with LA, so. And obviously Martinez no longer. He's in Vegas. He's another guy that I could have seen as a target for either Vegas or Seattle to have taken if he was still with us.
Are we talking about the protected players list or without them?
Without them. We're not going to include the protected players. Who do we think that they're going to take? Seattle. Who Seattle is going to take?
Oh. In my case, I think it's our top 5 players. Maybe Zadina, Larkin.
I feel like they would protect Zadina and Larkin for sure.
Larkin would be protected.
If they have a no trade clause, then they're automatically protected. I'm not sure of those guys' contract situation. So,
I'm sure they're good.
Kobe and Dyer.
Pancake.
That's tough. It's tough to say. I'd like to say it's somebody probably from our defensive core. I don't think it's going to be a Dumoulin. Dumoulin's still young. He signed a pretty hefty deal a couple years back. And I feel like he's kind of the young guy of the future. He's already quarterback in the power play a lot whenever, he's out there with Tanger. And Tanger's kind of showing the ropes. I think it's just kind of a redo from, when Letang got into the league and Gonchar did the same thing, right? And then Gonchar ended up shipping off. So I want to say that it's going to be probably a Letang situation because they realize, hey, this guy's still got some quality to him, but he's just not fitting the program anymore. He's not the right piece to lead the defense that we need. And I honestly feel like it might be a Letang.
Letang's a good bet on that one.
Yeah.
Another good veteran presence.
That's why Brown for veteran presence. He's been a captain before.
I got a few names that my team is probably gonna not protect, and I'm okay with one of them. I'm not okay with the other one. So,
okay,
I'm gonna go. The 2 players that I think that are probably not gonna be a part of the team next year is Colton Sissons and Calle Yarncroke.
Right.
Colton Sissons, I want him to be with us for a while. That dude has mad potential at center. Can use him at wing if we need to. Calle Yarncroke's in the same boat. We can use him at center and wing, but I see us maybe being brighter with Sissons.
I agree with
don't
that.
think Ekholm he's getting protected. I don't want to see him protected because I feel like he would be a better fit somewhere else. Plus, we have such a good
I was gonna say Bozak said
prospect pool in the defensive department. I can't talk because Milwaukee, that's what we're known for down there or up there is the defensive prospects. Now I've been waiting personally on Eeli Tolvanen for a few years, and I think he's ready because that kid is killing it. But back on topic, Ekholm, I can see it, but then I can't. Just solely based on David Poyle's past moves, he likes to reward veteran players for some reason. If they're not fitting with the group, then in my opinion, I'm getting rid of them. I don't think Nashville is gonna tear down. They have such a good. This is just me being biased. They have such a good prospect pool coming up, like Alexander Carrier, Eli Tolvanen, Igor Afanasev, and then we got Philip Tomasino, who in the ECHL was just killing teams just by himself.
Tomasino's really good, yeah.
That kid is gonna be better than Forsberg. I'm throwing that out there. He's definitely gonna be better than Forsberg.
And you love Forsberg, so that's.
I do love Forsberg, and I feel bad for whatever we played him last year in threes with George Kittle and no sleeves. I feel like a terrible person for that, but
yeah, that was such a good times.
I didn't mean to disrespect him by taking his name, but
we stream sniped.
yeah, we definitely did in the finals of all games.
We totally stream sniped.
Yeah, and
Can't help it, content, right?
yeah, for sure. Or another name that might get thrown out, depending on how he plays this year, is Kunin.
Yeah, good.
But
And then
back
AJ,
to
and then AJ said his suggestion, his team is Vancouver. He's a big Canucks guy. You gotta love the Canucks. I mean, Canucks are one of those teams that I would love to see do well. Obviously, a team that's they've been all over the place, but you want to see them do well. But he believes that Holtby is the obvious choice.
That's what I was going to say. It is pretty obvious if they're going to go after somebody who can, be the backbone of a team, goaltending wise.
Holtby.
It's the smartest decision, I think. To go after a
Stanley
guy
Cup
like that.
winner.
Hell yeah. He's a
Didn't
fucking.
get him though.
They did.
They just signed him.
I didn't think he was going to stay in Vancouver for more than a season. I figured he would be done after a season.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's kind of unfair though, no? Like I don't know. I feel like they
That
just barely
depends.
got him.
That depends on Vancouver, man. If they would protect him,
I don't. Yeah, true. Yeah.
He says that Holtby will be like Fleury for the Kraken.
But then
No,
he
it was.
corrected it to Vegas.
See, being their number one starter.
Yep.
Holtby probably might be the starter.
I would
You know
love to
what,
see Fleury come back
touching
to
on-
Pittsburgh. Oh,
Touching on the Vegas subject, their goaltending is
They're
I'm kind of scared of it, honestly. Like, Lehner finally found a team where he fits in, and he seems to be in a good headspace, unlike when he was in New York, or Chicago. He wasn't bad. I just think he wasn't happy with either the coaching staff or the front office, either one. He was.
Chicago likes Bam.
I don't blame anybody who's in Chicago to like even themselves.
Stamp got his head on his shoulder.
But I'm definitely happy to see that guy fit in on a team so well. And I don't know who's going to be their number one with how Fleury was last year. He missed it. He missed quite a few games, didn't he?
wouldn't. There was a lot of controversy with Fleury last year,
There's tons.
just because
Yeah.
of his, manager and different things going on. I wouldn't honestly expect him to stay there that much longer. I think you're going to see, maybe not this year, but next, Leonard be the number one.
Yeah, I would agree on that one.
I think this year is going to be their test to see who's going to be their number one moving forward. So it's probably going to be like another Shark situation, another Nashville situation where their goaltending is going to alternate games. If whoever won, honestly, how I would do it, if they won the previous game, they get to start the next game. Unless it was a close one, then obviously switch it out. But if they get it like a shutout, you got to keep that going. They have a mojo. I'm not fucking that up. Honestly, I'm happy with Saros being our number one. Renee's in politics. Go ahead, make a comment on
I was
this.
gonna say, go ahead. Yeah.
I would love to hear this
I
input.
was gonna say, I didn't make that comment earlier.
Renee is
Here's my-
definitely not what he used to be, and I'll be the first to admit it because I'm heartbroken because I love him.
Wolfie, you're not gonna believe me when I say this, but I love him too.
I mean, who doesn't
he-
look at the guy? He's
I
good
like
looking. He's amazing in the community. He's amazing on the ice.
He's
mean,
a fucking
what's there not to
beaut.
love? That's what I'm saying.
He's amazing as a goalie. It's just that it's so sad to see him not win a cup or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry.
He deserves the Stanley Cup.
You know
I
what?
shouldn't have brought that one up. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Hey
It's
man,
fine.
look
It's
at
not
it.
touchy.
Look at guys like Lundqvist too. The way Lundqvist went out with New York. It's a damn shame to see that kind of shit happen to guys like that, and I hope that doesn't happen to Pekka like that.
It's.
I really hope not.
I think he's gonna end it with Nashville. He's not gonna want to continue if he's not with us.
He won't play anywhere else.
No, I don't see
That's
him
the same
going anywhere.
It's the same with Doughty. He wants to stay a King. Like it's not a goalie, but he's another one of those guys where it's like he's loyal to his team. He's not gonna want to go anywhere. Like I could see Rene not going anywhere either. I think he stays in Nashville, 100%.
But we've seen crazier shit happen. Like look at the Weber Subban trade. I thought Weber was gonna end it with us, but obviously he's killing it up in Montreal.
Look
Good point from Bozak. One player can't win a cup unless you are Cam Ward.
No shit, that dude stood on his head.
Legend, bro. Absolute legend.
look at
Yeah, I mean,
you talk
for-
about trades like that, man. The Penguins trade, they had Max Talbot back in the day, won us our first. Well, I shouldn't say our first cup, but the first cup of the Crosby
while.
era. Yeah, of the Crosby era there, and then he, a couple seasons later, gets traded to Philly, of all things, and now he still gets a warm reception from Pittsburgh fans, regardless of that kind of deal. He's always going to be that fan favorite kind of personality.
Like the issue with Nashville is we have these big name guys that we expect to produce, like Johansson. I'll be the first to admit it. I'll be his number one critic. Doesn't produce like he used to.
You're talking about
Duchesne
Marcus,
didn't-
right?
Hey, go fuck yourself.
No, Marcus.
Ryan Johansson.
Oh, okay.
No, like he doesn't produce nearly as well as he used to. Obviously,
How old is
yes, he is overpaid. I will admit it now. I used to not in the past, Bozak. Obviously, I was always like, no, go fuck yourself. He's not overpaid. He's definitely overpaid. They overpaid Duchesne. Doesn't produce like he had
Duchesne.
in years past.
Dude.
Had an off year. Forsberg and Arvidsson, they were where they normally are. I expect them to step up a little more than they did, but I'm not going to complain with how they played. It's our bottom pairs that really surprised me with how much they stepped up, more so than what the big name guys did. And I would not agree with that. Bozak Granlund is not better than Ryjo because Granlund didn't do shit with his time there. Other than
Granlund.
score a 0.1 second goal. That's all he did for me.
Yeah,
I
it's
find it
Brandon.
kind of odd
It's
that
Brandon.
Duchesne. I'm sorry for the interruption. I find it kind of odd that Duchesne was the minute he left at the Avalanche, they actually became a playoff team.
First, I
Actually, like-
will agree with
yeah,
that 1,000%. Him and McKinnon did not get along, and you could tell.
Colorado is menacing since Duchesne left. McKinnon arguably, I know they say this like they think that McKinnon's one of the best in the NHL right now. I mean,
I would argue that he is.
him and McDavid probably top tier, top two right there is those two.
Yeah, for sure.
McKinnon should be like I just don't say it. I thought about this the other day. McKinnon should be the cover of the next video game, just straight up.
He should, yeah.
I agree with that.
That's a guy who should be on the cover of NHL. 100% McKinnon. Way underrated.
I would say maybe top 7, top 8 in the NHL.
Players wise, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Here's
Completely.
a question for AJ. How does he feel about Besser in the expansion draft? Is
Ooh,
he someone
yeah,
that he keeps, or is
Mm.
it someone that he protects?
that's a great question. Yeah,
Mm.
AJ.
Considering he has
Pedersen.
Peterson
Yeah.
and Horvat, even.
There you go. Besser will be protected, he says.
I like it. Didn't know if you were going to be bold and be like, nope, get that motherfucker out of here. There's some people out there that are bold like that, man. I just had to ask it.
I want to
He's
get.
definitely part
I
of
want
it.
to get the elephant out of the room here, boys.
What's that?
The fuck is going on with Toronto?
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to bring up the Leafs. I was just waiting for it.
The fuck is going on there? With all the
Disa-
talent.
Disaster, I'd say probably. That's probably my word for them is disaster.
I
I-
think they're looking for dumpster fire.
Didn't they send a Kapanen to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they just made a trade for that. Fuck, I can't remember the details of it. I think they got rid of him for maybe a draft pick, third round draft, something like that, and maybe a farm guy. But
It just said Cody Cece should not be an NHL player, by the way.
oh, Cody Cece, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yep, that was the one. When he can't hit the broadside of a barn.
They got Kapanen for a first.
Was it first?
Yeah. They got Captain for a first.
I'll take that. The guy's got a little bit more seasoned under him. You know, he's maybe he'll flourish a little bit more with Sid and Gino, but maybe Sid more than Gino. But I love Malkin to death. I do, but
Yeah, Toronto. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Toronto right now. No
I'm
idea.
up for a good debate right now. You know what? If I'm Toronto, I'm getting rid of Nylander and Marner for some picks.
no,
Austin Matthews, future
No.
Arizona Coyote.
that
I'd probably keep Marner. I'd get rid of Nylander.
I'd keep Marner. I'd definitely
Yeah,
keep Marner.
No, not Nylander. Keep Marner. He's better.
He is
Nylander.
better, but
Nylander should be gone.
How long do you guys think that Toronto is gonna take until they actually crumble to the pressure known as the fucking salary cap? Jesus, I can't talk.
Given the current state,
Yeah.
I'd say maybe
for Weber.
2-3 years.
Tavares for Weber.
3 years? Okay,
That's
that's,
a-
pretty
that's a-
humble. I'd say. I think it's gonna be like, I don't know, maybe next season.
I don't think that
better
quick.
question. How the fuck did Arizona not crumble with any kind of cap space? Because they were always taking somebody's contract. I believe they had Datsuk's contract.
Yeah, they did have Dotsuk's contract. I
How
don't
the
know.
fuck do
They
you
don't-
end up with Datsuk's contract?
They don't need more, right?
I don't think so, but they did at one point. I believe whoever like retired from other teams, they were just like, oh yeah, we'll take their contract. That's no problem.
Yeah,
Pass it on over. We got you.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. To me, it doesn't really make sense.
The name is like too big for their franchise, DPH.
Yeah, Arizona's. Deke would have a pretty good opinion on Arizona right now. I mean, I definitely see Austin Matthews in Arizona eventually. Arizona native, so don't know why he's still in Toronto, to be honest.
Ooh.
I would
Toronto's
see that
Toronto's
too.
protecting him at
I would see
all
that.
costs. I don't
Yeah,
see
they're
him
not,
leaving.
they're not gonna try to. They're not gonna let him go.
I think I would see that too, only if he would actually ask for a trade.
I don't know what's going on in Toronto though. No idea. They were definitely arguably, besides I'm trying to think, it's like Vegas, Toronto, some of the probably the busier teams in the off season. Like God, Toronto acquired what? Wayne Simmons, Joe Thornton, some veterans. I don't know who else they acquired, but they were a pretty busy team in the off season, so they're definitely trying to build something around Marner, Matthews. And the thing is also
Whatever the fuck they're doing, it ain't working.
yeah, their goaltending situation too. Like Freddie Anderson,
How many
Jack.
chances do you give a guy
I don't know.
to get past Boston? How many times?
Apparently too.
Dude, that blows my mind. Like, I get it. Rene took however fucking long to make it to the finals, but I don't think we ever got hung up on one team,
No, I don't think so either.
especially after that sweep of Chicago.
Yeah, you guys saw Chicago 2017.
Yeah.
I loved not hearing their goal horn.
When that happened, I knew that was bad for everybody else in the West.
Dude, that
If Nashville was the bottom seed in the West.
they were
Yeah.
the last seed in.
They were the
Last
final.
seed in, and we swept the number one seed.
Yep.
It reminds me of a certain team.
AJ says Toronto will win the Canadian division.
That's
I don't know.
I don't know. You got Calgary and Edmonton to go up against, man,
Yeah. Well, I think
and
they
Vancouver.
I think they beat Edmonton. I don't know about Calgary. I think Calgary would run them over.
That's interesting. Because they don't play Boston or Tampa.
Dude, that revised division. They for some reason they have St. Louis not in the same division as the Central, but they
No.
have like Tampa and the Panthers in their division, which I thought was very odd,
Well, the
Yeah,
Panthers.
considering how close all those teams are. Like
the
St. Louis to
Panthers have
Chicago,
gotten some good building pieces, man.
They just need to execute it better. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw the new the realignment plans or whatever. It's like LA and the California teams would play Colorado and Dallas, two very good Western competitive teams.
Dallas
That
is
was-
I
Dallas-
underestimated Dallas last year, honestly.
Yeah, Dallas made a big statement last season. You cannot put that team, behind you. Like, that team is definitely on the rise.
I lost
No
50
doubt.
bucks thanks to Dallas.
Ooh. Yeah, Cali teams are gonna die in that division, says AJ. I agree. Yeah, we're gonna get torched.
I just noticed something. Wait, Wolfie. Okay, listen. Both our teams are actually in a division now.
Ooh.
Rivals.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
You guys are rivals, yeah.
Holy shit.
Remember,
But back in the day,
we've always been rivals,
yeah,
buddy.
back in the day when Detroit was in the Western Conference and Columbus.
Yep. And
God,
we took your little octopus throwing tactics and turned it into a catfish. I think that's what
Ooh,
it is.
yeah.
I believe that's what started it.
It's the catfish now, yeah.
By the way,
Ottawa's going.
Catfish.
This is
I
Ottawa's
can't
going
wait
to die.
for a catfish on the ice.
They also
That's-
comment that Ottawa's going to die.
Ottawa's for sure gonna die.
I'm surprised you assholes haven't gotten in trouble with PETA yet.
Yeah, right.
That's
PETA would be
You
all
know
over
what?
it.
I think there was a little stir up about that.
really.
PETA would be all over
But
it.
Can you
the
imagine
thing is,
Pittsburgh just chucking penguins out there on left and right and shit?
Ooh, yeah. That
The
would be-
thing is, like, they were buying catfish from like a fish market, I believe,
Yeah.
and like keeping ice inside of it just so it
Still,
didn't like stink.
still.
Nah,
PETA would be
I mean,
like, that
PETA
fish had feet. I shouldn't get into this.
I mean, yeah, they did give us a hard time with the octopus, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll save that for
I'm
another.
surprised you got away with it. Like, what kind of lawyer did you
Yeah.
fucking buy?
I was gonna say, what lawyer did you
At
buy?
least I can go get my animal from a fucking river. You gotta go all the way to the ocean.
Ooh, yeah.
Savage.
True.
What's wrong with you?
You can't get octopus unless you're in an ocean.
And they are not very
That is
nice.
true.
I feel like
No.
they're harder to catch too. Yeah.
They are hard to
They can
catch.
camouflage.
Yeah.
Mm.
Them fuckers,
deep.
they adapt quick. How do we get on the
Absolutely.
topic of this? Let's go back to Chow, eh?
Yeah.
Back to Chow.
Yeah. Unless we're gonna call it, we're almost 2 hours here.
That
We're-
garbage.
we said we're only gonna go an hour. We're almost at
Yeah.
2.
Oh, that was fun.
We gotta talk about Shell, that garbage.
Is Price good enough to warrant the starting job at the Olympics?
Oh, Shell.
Let's hear Bozak's take on this.
Bozak, yeah. His take, yeah.
I think Price is overrated.
Over the years,
Great price.
he's not the same price that he used to be, but
Price is up there, but he's definitely, I feel like, overrated in a way. But
Yeah.
he is up there, though.
I'm not taking that away. I'm saying he's up there, like definitely as far as starting goaltenders in the league go, but he is overrated. I think as far as how people always view him.
I seen Bennington's name thrown out. How does everybody
Bennington.
feel about his past season compared to the one before? I feel like he
Bennington-
underperformed.
Bennington was a steel wall when St. Louis won their cup, but last season definitely not the same. No, definitely not. His cup season, what he reminds me of is Jonathan Quick when Jonathan Quick was in his prime in the cup years, and he was stopping everything. The guy
I
was a
agree
freak.
with
Yeah,
I agree with Bozak. Give me Price over Bennington in the Olympics.
but Bennington, yeah, definitely not the same as the cup season. That was
Mm,
he definitely did not do as well.
I give him props, and it seems like Pat Maroon is a good luck charm. So
Yep. Staying in
2
Tampa.
for 2, baby.
that's right.
Yeah, 2 for 2. And Champa's gonna try to go for another one now. Make it 3 for 3, maybe. Who knows? But Price over Bennington, yeah,
I would take
Yeah.
Price over Bing. Yeah.
I would take Price over Bennington.
I don't see
Thing is,
how Tampa's.
Price is that like he went through hell throughout these years. So
He did.
like recently his decline in performance is not as surprising as they think since like he's playing with bumps technically. So
How has Tampa not fell into cap trouble with his biggest contracts that they've been signing?
Yeah, right. I don't even know what their cap situation is right now. They signed some big contracts, but it finally paid off for them. They got past Columbus this time, thankfully. That's God bless on that one. But yeah, I don't know. Dude. Like the Tampa Bay, obviously, definitely one of those teams that I feel like was definitely more than deserving of winning a Stanley Cup over the years. Like they've been good, they've been consistent. Kucherov, one of the best Russian players in the NHL, no doubt.
The Eastern Conference Finals, how many times? Like it just
So
couldn't.
many times. So many times. And they lost to Chicago in the finals. which
Lost to
is-
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they
Yep,
lost to
lost to
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, lost to Washington.
You know,
They finally broke that barrier. They finally won a cup.
I think
you got 'em.
USA's tandem. I'm taking. As AJ said, Hellebuck, Bishop, and Gibson. I'm taking Bishop and Gibson. Honestly,
I would take Bishop. and
Hellebuck's
Gibson,
not
too.
been the same since I want to say 18.
I'm listen. I'm gonna take Gibby. I gotta take
Take
Gibson.
Bishop?
Yeah.
But Bishop, to kind
He's
of
up and down, really.
Bishop, Hudobin was pretty much Dallas's main go-to guy second half of the season in playoffs. Hudobin was good, but I mean, obviously, he's probably not going to be like that next season. You never know. But Bishop, up and down guy. But Gibson, 100% confident with him. Stellar goaltender.
That man can,
For sure.
just steal a game on a whim a lot of the times. And I just, as good as Bishop is, I'd like to have that off chance that, like, if things do go wrong or something, you have him as a safety net.
Hellebuck's still a reliable goaltender, too.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Hell
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that he's a bad goalie. I'm just saying
Yeah.
he's not been the same since like 18 or 19.
No, definitely not. Still
Actually-
up there.
18, he was a brick wall. I will say that. I was honestly scared of that Jets team, and it proved why I was scared of that team. But I think the Jets kind of took a step back
The
with
Jets
bringing Stasny back. I mean, he's a good center. He's a
The
good depth
Jets have
center.
dropped off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
If Line's going to stay or if he's going to move, you don't know.
Matthews is better than Line by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely forgot about
I,
Line.
I would agree with that one.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Line, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I haven't heard shit about Line anything good anyway. And
He's kind of one of those guys
Few
that
years.
just dropped off.
Yeah, man. Like, I've heard about Scheifele more than him recently. That's alarming, I'd say.
No doubt.
Nashville
Alright.
should trade for Hellebuck.
Imagine.
That'd be I don't know how that would go.
Yeah, you guys should give him Picarine. I think it'd be.
Here, have a very out of his prime Rene.
All right, here we go. So we have another interesting topic here: Kaprizov or Laffy for the Calder,
Laffy.
and then
Laffy for sure.
Bozak brings up Byfield.
Byfield's in the running, but I'm taking Laffy. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm taking
I don't know why I
Laffy.
said Lazzy.
I'd say Laffy too, as much as I like Byfield, and I'm glad he's a king. But Laffy probably would have to be my pick.
It's hard to tell, man. It's hard to tell. Things can change. But I
the
gotta
young-
go.
the-
Go
the
ahead.
young guns game has changed dramatically because you look at Jack Hughes, a guy who gets drafted number 1 overall. Everybody thinks like he's going to be like incredible, but he plays for New Jersey, and I don't even remember how many points he got in his rookie season, but definitely probably not as much as people anticipated him to do.
The sad part
So-
about that is he has no support. He has nothing
The
there.
young guns game has definitely changed in a way. It's all about like where you get drafted to and the pieces that you have to work with. And Jack Hughes did not have very much to work with in his rookie season. New Jersey's not really the best place to be right now, but
How do
obviously,
you feel about Brady Kachuk? You think he stays in Ottawa much longer?
I wouldn't want to stay in Ottawa.
I don't want to stay in Ottawa. Jesus Christ, that's a
I don't know.
dumpster
They
fire
just got
team.
Matt Murray. I don't know.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is true. They did just get Matt Murray, but
They also have Austin Watson.
yeah, that's the downside. They have
Yeah.
Austin Watson. That dude is a penalty machine. He will go out of his way to take a fucking penalty.
Sure do, man. I don't know if he's gonna stay.
Yeah, I can see him
But-
going. I can
but-
see him staying too.
But Bozak does say, stay to play with Tim Stutzel. Obviously, their newest draft pick. Kings were rumored to take him. We took Byfield, so it'd be interesting to see how Kachuk plays with Tim Stutzel. That's a good point.
AJ also brings up a good point, though. Imagine Brady and Matthew on the same team. Imagine how many fucking heads they're in all game.
That would be
Especially
interesting.
Matthew. Like he's like, hey, I'm gonna be in your fucking head. I can kick your ass by myself, but I also have my brother on the ice too.
You know what that is?
So you're even more fucking trouble.
That's the new Van Riemsdyk duo. That's exactly what that is.
It's literally, yeah.
I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with this, but I think that the whole thing with the young prospects or whatever is getting kind of underwhelming, to say the least. The whole Capo Caco, Jack Hughes thing died out really quickly.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
agree.
sure.
They were both
Like I had
terrible.
such high expectations for both those guys.
It's just it died out so quickly. I was so disappointed.
Well, boys, we're at about 2 hours here. I'm gonna cut my end short, just for now,
Yes, sir.
and just call it at that. But saying what I gotta say, Arkham, thank you for showing up, my man. Appreciate you. Like I said, you're a fucking gem, Hut Beast. We get it. You know, we love
I'll
you.
save some of that talent for the rest of you guys.
We love you, brother.
Me
Woofy,
too, man.
you're a fucking legend. All right, that's no more needs to be said. You're all legends, but you know, this man right
Back
here
at you, brother.
claps slap shots left and fucking right all day, every day.
Arabian Prince to my right, I believe. I believe it's my right.
Fucking politics. He throws down the dishiest shit on Twitter. I'm telling you, I love
He
this
does,
man.
man. He's dirty on Twitter.
And we need to get you back on Chell. Ultimately, that's the goal. And I don't care. I'll buy you a Series X, whatever you want me to do.
That would be necessary now.
But we need to get you back on it. But I love you guys, and
I managed to bring Wolfie back, so
He can bring anybody back if that's the case.
yep, that's a fact, brother.
setting the bar high.
But like I said,
All right.
check Arkham out, check Lone Wolf out on Twitter, on Twitter, on Twitch. You know, we'll have it posted. We'll have it posted.
We got
Fuck it.
this. We got it covered.
Yeah, I was
Alright.
gonna say for those who are still in my stream, I'm probably gonna keep my stream rolling for another hour, play some Shell, just relax, vibe, post podcasts, just chilling. So if anybody else wants to stay and hang out, by all means. I appreciate these two though for having me on. Just great time, great conversations. I could talk hockey all day long and not get tired of it. It's such a great conversation topic.
Hell
Well,
yeah,
fellas,
bro.
me and my beautiful hair are out of here.
All
I'll
right,
see your beautiful faces sometime soon.
sounds
Yeah.
good, man. We'll talk to y'all